Today, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret that I use with my clients when it comes to goal setting.
Welcome back to another episode of the Higher Alignment Podcast, where high performers come to grow without stress, shame, or burning out. I'm Mintu Lam, and I'm here to help you work smarter, live fuller, and feel like yourself again. If you're tired of running on empty, book your complimentary assessment call at higheralignmentconsulting.com/program, and let's figure out what's draining your energy and what you can do to start feeling happy and peaceful once again. You can find the link in the show notes. Now let's get into the episode.
When it comes to setting goals in January, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little like, I'm 50-50 on it. I think there's one part of me that understands there's this like societal understanding that January 1st is quote unquote a new year and a new slate. And you can go into different debates on this because if you really look at the new year energetically, which is supposed to bring like a fresh start, fresh slate, where I'm from, we're still in the deep freeze. It is still freezing. It is still cold. It is still snowy. We are still hibernating if we look at the seasonal patterns of nature, okay? And so that's what's referred to as the Gregorian calendar, January 1st. Now, if you look at older societies and cultures, most of them follow like the Mayan calendar or like the lunar calendar, which means the new year actually starts closer to springtime, February, March, things like that, which energetically makes more sense to me, okay? Like that's when the snow is thawing out and the sun is coming out and we have longer days and like things are rebirthing, things are springing up from the ground. Like to me, that makes more energetic sense. But again, I do understand that January 1st, at least in Western culture, North America has energy of like, let's start over, and people really gear up for January 1st, So take it for what it is. You can, whatever resonates with you, follow along with that. But my point is saying that I'm dropping this episode a few weeks after January 1st. So just like if you've already set goals or if you've already set goals, just run with what I'm saying and add it to what you've already set. Okay. Now, when I bring on a new client, we set goals at the beginning, which are more so intentions, okay? And I have a theory. It's actually not a theory because I've proven it to myself so many times now, that the reason most people's goals don't stick is because they're chasing something external versus what they're actually looking for is something internal, okay? So, let's use a very common one, which is going to the gym, right? So you're going to the gym because you want to lose weight or whatever the case is. And so you get a gym membership and then your plan is to go every day for 5 days a week or 7 days a week. And meanwhile, you haven't gone in years. And you set this big target for you. And I think they say that 90% of people by February 14th have given up on their New Year's resolution. And it's because people are thinking that this external thing is going to make them feel a certain way, where I actually reverse engineer that with my clients. And I do get them to lay out physical goals, but then we tie it back to what those physical goals actually mean to them on a deeper intrinsic level. Okay. So I'm actually going to take you guys through that today. Okay. You're getting some free info, some free insight to the Higher Alignment program. So I'm going to take you through what that exercise is today and how we do that, and then elaborate a little bit more on why the internal desired state is such a key anchor to making sure that 2026 plays out the way we want it to. I think all of us go into the year with the best of intentions, and some of those things stick and some of them don't. But this exercise, I find, is so effective. And the best thing about it is that people make these changes and it happens so subtly that they don't even realize, which makes it much more sustainable and leads to actual transformation. Okay, so what I do is I take my clients through 3 areas of growth. Okay, 8 8 areas of growth that they want to focus on while they're working with me. Okay, so I'm going to list off all 8 of them, and I'm going to give you an example of what the physical manifestation would be. So you're going to list out a physical manifestation of your goal in this area, and then we're going to go to what would be the desired state attached to that. Okay, so feel free to pause as you go along and as you're listening to this, but I'm just going to give you some hypothetical examples so you know how to answer it for yourself, and then I'm going to tie it back to why this makes goal setting and intention setting way more effective when you do it this way.
Okay, if you're an executive who's craving more clarity, happiness, and a sense of real inner peace in your day-to-day, make sure you hit follow so you never miss an episode. This show is here to help you lead, succeed, and actually feel good while doing it. And if something resonates today, give it a like and share it with someone else who could use a little bit more calm in their life too.
So the first one is physical health, okay? Physical health / body. We can go back to the example I just gave. So maybe this year your goal is to lose 10 pounds, to get into the gym 4 or 5 days a week, to cut back on the sugar, to maybe get a 6-pack. Okay, that would be the external physical manifestation of what your goal would be for physical health and body. Now, if I was to achieve all those things, the desired state I would get from that is I would feel more confident. I would feel more comfortable in my clothes, and I'd probably have more energy. Okay, so confident, feel good in my clothes, which kind of is confidence, and more energy. Okay. Now, the next, so again, if you want to pause there and answer that for yourself, go ahead. The next topic is work / career. So maybe my physical manifestation of goals in that department is I want to make $250K this year. I want to get X promotion. I want to, I don't know, what's another good career goal? Oh, I want to get acknowledged for top 40 under 40. Those would be the external metrics of work / career. Okay. Now, what would be the desired state I'd get from that? I would feel accomplished. I would feel probably confident again in myself by knowing I could do that. And I would feel, what's another thing that I would feel from accomplishing that? I would feel proud of myself. So again, physical is the promotion, the 6 figures, the public acknowledgement. The internal desired state would be fulfilled, accomplished, proud of myself, confident. Okay. Next category, relationships. My goal for 2026 with my relationships is I would like to spend more time with my friends and family. I would like to have more meaningful moments with them. So maybe that's taking more vacation, talking on the phone with them more because I've been isolated because I've been so busy. Maybe that's having a family get together once every 2 weeks where we have dinner together. Just more quality time and better communication in my relationships. Physical manifestation. Internal result of that would be I would feel more connected and loved, if I'm being honest. I would feel more supported and less lonely. And yeah, I think that would also make me feel more present and again back to connected. So physical manifestation, more time, more presence with friends and family, more meaningful moments, internal desired state, more connection, more love, more support. Self-care / relationship with myself. That's the next category. So my goal for 2026 externally would be to have more time to meditate or be with myself. It would be to have more time to go on walks with myself or even just have more healthy internal dialogue. It would also mean to me, my goal for 2026 would be able to understand myself better so that I don't have to wait till things get really bad to activate or to give myself the nourishment or support or recovery that I need. So being able to anticipate my needs versus wait till they're screaming at me. An internal desired state of that would be I would feel more grounded and balanced internally. I would feel like I'm on top of things and more calm and balanced within myself and like less reactive and more responsive. And I would feel just more at peace with myself. So, again, external manifestation, spending more time alone, going on walks, being able to have healthier dialogue with myself. Internal manifestation of that is I would feel more at peace, more balanced, more grounded. Next category, finances/lifestyle. Well, I already said one of my financial goals, right? Hypotheticals, I want to make $250K a year. Lifestyle is I would want to be able to take vacation when I want to take it, schedule out my days based on what allows me to feel the most on point, not what everyone's demanding of me. So just be more in control and be able to say no more on my schedule. Be able to travel once a month with my partner and take a vacation, at least for a weekend. And just be able to just be in control of what I'm giving my time and energy. That would be my goal for finances/lifestyle. And the internal result of that would be freedom. I'd feel more free. I'd feel more at peace because I know I'm actually in control of where my time and energy is going. Next, mental wellness. A goal for 2026, mental wellness, I would want my thoughts to be able to not spiral out of control, be able to settle, and even just be able to give things the appropriate amount of my mental space. Like not give something more of my energy than it needs to get mentally. I would want to be able to just again be able to quiet my mind whenever I desire to, like be more in control of that, have more positive thoughts, less negative, cynical thoughts. And be able to see big picture on things, not get stuck in like hyper focused, hyper reactive mode, like be able to see big pictures so I can understand other people's perspectives better. I can see other perspectives. I can be a better problem solver. So that's what I want mental wellness wise. What that would give me internally is a sense of calm, clarity, and yeah, I think that would be it. That would give me an internal state of more calm and more clarity. 2 more, guys. Next category is emotional wellness. Emotional wellness would be me being able to express my needs and my feelings without fear or judgment. It would be being able to feel the depths of my feelings, whether that be happy, sad, angry, mad, without feeling like something is wrong with me or that the world's going to come to an end. Like being able to like rationally hold space for my emotions, not like feel like I need to get through them because they're so painful. Like I could hold space for everything and know that it's just a moment in time and I could get through it. Not letting my emotions dictate my behavior, being able to be very open and honest with how I feel, but also respond from a very clear place. And just speak up for myself and advocate for my needs. That would be what it would look like externally. Internally, I think it'd be similar to mental. That would give me a sense of peace, a sense of freedom, and a sense of clarity internally. Like I know I'm in a better overall energy space when I can express my emotions and get them out. I know when they get pent up, I get pent up and get really agitated and irritable. So just if I could have a healthy expression of those, um, I know I would just be more free and more clear and more peaceful. Okay, last one, spirituality. So a goal for 2026 might be I want to be able to connect with God more and the universe or even just myself. Um, Being able to trust the divine timing of things, not try to have to be in control of everything and everything has to work out to my timeline. Being able to surrender to the mysteries of life and know that there's a bigger power at play and just honestly give up control, at least some of it. Like obviously some things are really up to us, but then there again, I fully believe there's a larger power at play. And I know when I'm more stressed and fearful, I try to control more things. So if I'm really connected to the higher power and trusting in that along with what I'm co-creating with the universe and with God, I'm more free and more in flow. So spiritually, that might look like praying more, journaling more, just having conversations with God or with the universe. And even just when things aren't going as planned, being able to just come back to myself and say, just trust the process and trust the timing. That would be the external manifestation of that. And internally, that would look like, again, more inner peace, more clarity, more flow, more creativity, being able to tap into my intuition more. And again, just a desired state of peace, clarity, and freedom. Okay, so those are the 8 areas. Again, physical health / body, work / career, relationships, self-care / relationship with self, finances / lifestyle, mental wellness, emotional wellness, spirituality. So I just took you through a bunch of examples on what you might say for each one of those categories. And what I encourage you to do is go through it and answer it just as I did. Answer the physical one, then answer the desired state. Okay. And again, the desired state is a feeling that you would get if you achieved all the physical things. If I achieved X, Y, and Z, I would feel I don't know, A, whatever. Or if I achieved, I don't know, the alphabet, whatever letters, it would make me feel this. That's the equation essentially, okay? Now, once you've done that for each one of those categories, what I want you to do is go look for 2 or 3 words that commonly commonly stuck out, okay? Because that's what happens. Once you start going through each of those, you're going to notice some themes that are predominant. For me, in the list I just gave you with that hypothetical, the common one was peace, clarity, and I believe freedom. Those are words that popped up for and confidence. Those were words that popped up multiple times throughout those different categories. Even though the external goal was different for each one of them, I was still after the same desired state in each one of those. Okay? So look at your list, pick the couple that stuck out. All right, guys, quick pause. If this episode is hitting home, I created a free burnout quiz that takes less than 2 minutes. It helps you pinpoint exactly how burnout shows up for you and what shifts you can take to start feeling happier, calmer, and more in control. Most executives tell me the results feel eerily accurate, so head over to the link in the show notes and you can take the quiz there. Now, these are going to be your North Star for this next year, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to reverse engineer how you go after these goals. Because what you're after is not the 6-pack or the 6 figures or the the award or even the time with family. What you're after through all those things is a feeling of inner peace, is a feeling of freedom, is a feeling of confidence. And if something came up more than once in your list, what that tells me is your nervous system is craving that. Your soul is craving that because it hasn't experienced that genuine feeling in so long. Okay? Now, The way we reverse engineer this is by using the tuning fork method, okay? Or a radio. So, if you guys know what a tuning fork is, I've talked about this before on the podcast. It's a healing instrument. It's metal and it looks like a Y, a very, very narrow Y. And each tuning fork has a certain frequency attached to it. So, for instance, 444 hertz. Now, if you have a tuning fork that's 444 hertz and you ring it and it's in a room of other tuning forks, every tuning fork that's tuned to that exact same frequency, that 444 hertz, is also going to start ringing just merely by the fact that you rang off one in the same room without you even touching it. Okay? Because it's on the same frequency. It's the same thing with the radio station. If you want to listen to the songs on 92.5, you have to turn the radio dial till you get to 92.5 so it can hear what's being played on that frequency. It's the same thing with our goals. We want to change our internal state so that we can start attracting things on the outside that match that frequency. Okay? So if you think having a six-pack and losing 20 pounds is going to make you feel more confident, what we want to do is we want to change your internal state to naturally feel more confident so that you can now attract things that do that on the exterior. Okay? We all know that if you're using external metrics to change how you feel internally, it doesn't last, right? I've met people who make multiple millions of dollars and can buy whatever they want and still are unhappy inside. And you would think money could buy you anything that makes you happy, but that's not how it works. Because yeah, you can get a yacht and the parties and the designer bags and the mansion. Okay, cool. You could buy all these things that externally you think would bring you happiness, but then why don't they feel it inside? We've heard that story time and time again. It's because if you really want to transform, if you really want to anchor in these desired states, it has to start internally first. Okay? So for my example, my predominant desired states were peace, clarity, and confidence and freedom, right? Those are the four. That's a few too many. But anyways, let's just say we're even going with peace and confidence. Let's just pick those two. They're a little bit easier for this example. So knowing that they are my North Star, what I'm going to do is when I'm going through my day-to-day, I'm going to figure out how to create more moments of peace and confidence in my life so that my nervous system can get used to experiencing them again. Okay? So if you have a choice between going out for drinks after work versus going home and having a hot bubble bath and resting, one of those creates more peace than the other, okay? And it'd be very easy to say, well, I should go connect with the team or I should, go bond with them more. It's going to be good, especially if you're in a leadership position. But if you know for this year, one of your core desired states is peace, then in that moment, choose the bubble bath. Right? Like choose the bath. And this can also go to a much simpler thing where it's like, do I need to invite 5 people to this meeting or do I really need to only invite one and send out the rest of it in an email to everybody else? Like if peace is one of your core desired states for the year, use that North Star in all your decision making. Is this bringing me closer to peace or is it pulling me further away? Is this bringing me closer to chaos or peace? Ask yourself that. And then every time, even in these small decisions that you choose peace, you allow your nervous system to experience it and goes, oh, it's been a while since I felt this. And every time it does that, it's going to realize it's safe to experience peace and it's going to want more. It's going to be like, I want more of that. I want more of that. And this is when your external world starts to shift because now your nervous system is going to be looking for situations, people, and opportunities that generate more peace. Right now, what a lot of you are probably doing, because I was there for years, is you are programmed to choose chaos because chaos feels safe to you. It's what you've known to create success. So your nervous system, even though you don't consciously want it, even though you consciously want peace, your nervous system knows nothing else than to choose the chaos. So then it's choosing the night out. It's choosing the the big meeting with too many people. It's choosing these situations out of protection, but because it's been so long since it's experienced inner peace and it doesn't even know that's safe. So by using these North Stars and choosing them in everyday situations to create more of that in your life, your nervous system is going to become accustomed. And then you guys have heard me say the mind sees the opportunity, the nervous system determines whether you capitalize on it. You will be shocked as to how your external world starts to shift to make more peaceful situations come to your life. Work-wise, professionally, relationship-wise, it's going to become your new standard because your nervous system is going to start deflecting anything that doesn't align with it. Okay? But the key in this strategy is A, knowing what the North Star is, so going through that list, but then also you have to take micro steps in this department. Like that's why so many high performers struggle with like meditation. Like they can't just meditate or they can't go on like a silent retreat out of nowhere because it's too stark of a difference. We're going from chaos, red line, always busy to super quiet. And why you might want that, I'm sure you've all tried if you're in this boat where you've tried to lay down and meditate and in 10 seconds, your mind's going a million miles a minute. And then you actually have a really restless, unenjoyable experience of meditation because it was too big of a jump. It's the same thing with peace. It's the same thing with confidence. It's the same thing with freedom. You have to introduce it in microdoses to your nervous system so it realizes it is safe for you to experience this. And as you compound it in microdoses, each day it's going to become more and more comfortable. And again, this is when the magic happens. This is when your external world starts to shift for you, not because you're forcing it, not because you're pushing to make things happen, but because that's the law of energy. It has to be in alignment. Okay. So even the fact, if you're listening to this episode right now, it's because your body wants a different way of doing something. If you were still stuck in your old ways and were not even open to other ways of setting goals or structuring or building your life for a year, you wouldn't have even stumbled across this. The fact that you stumbled across this podcast shows that I'm in your frequency. I'm on your wavelength. You are on my wavelength for you to even take in this information. Okay? So go through the list, physical, desired state, find the total of what's sticking out the most, and now start using that as your North Star. Start shifting your internal state first. And I promise you, if you do it this way, your 2026 will look like a completely different year without you having to do a lot of efforting or forcing. Okay? It's going to shift in a way that's much more sustainable, much more enjoyable, and actually gives you lasting results.